Hey, what's up, everybody? Another day, another dollar. So I was just commenting on the Shanquella story. I'm reading this comment. Somebody said different country, different relationships with those countries. More to the story with this. True, but the United States is still the United States. And Aruba and Mexico have good partnerships with the United States. There's a lot of Americans that live in both. And so I was speaking on the Natalee Holloway / Shanquella Robinson situation. And I'm going to play because there was a story on the new developments of Natalee Holloway. I think they both deserve justice, obviously. But I just don't understand why, our country's not doing their part for this case as well. So, especially since we're actually connected to Mexico. Like Aruba, you have to actually fly over some water to get there. Mexico's just literally across the border. So, I'm just not understanding why Shanquella is not getting that same attention. But yeah, let me get into this. So, normally I talk about my day. What did I do today? I worked out. I slept. I'm refurbishing a house, or I'm doing something with a house. It's taxing. But yeah, that's what's going on in my little world. There was some news that came out today that I found it interesting. This whole Trump thing with the presidential pardons. Did y'all hear this story? I thought this was pretty interesting. Y'all know how Trump pardoned Kodak Black and Lil Wayne, and it's come to some, I don't know how true it is, but supposedly they paid for their pardons $2 million a pop. Let me play this story right quick.
When I tell you these two are trending and it ain't good, we got to get into this story. So y'all remember back in 2021 when Donald Trump had pardoned Lil Wayne as well as Kodak Black, right? Well, the story begins here with this tweet by Keith Olbermann, and he states that Rudy Giuliani's ex-assistant is suing him for $10 million, and in her claim that she made, she said that she has a recording of Rudy Giuliani telling her that him and Trump were selling pardons for the low price of 2 million racks. Now, remember when the story surfaced, because people could not figure out how exactly did Lil Wayne and Kodak Black get on the president's good list. Well, it only cost them $2 million each. Let me take you back a little bit. So Lil Wayne had a weapons charge that was really, really old, and somehow the prosecutor's office decided to hit him with it. They stated that he could get up to 10 years in prison, and when he pled guilty, nobody could figure out why. Well, insert the president of the United States at the time. Nobody can actually take a pardon unless you are convicted of a crime. So for the low price of allegedly $2 million, Lil Wayne ponied up. He then put out this tweet. And at the time, Kodak Black also got pardoned, and he put out this tweet. Now, he went ahead and deleted it, and we're not entirely sure why, but it's safe to say it looked like he was trying to clean up the crumbs. Now, we got to put our political science hats on, because this is an ethical dilemma that we don't really know how it turns out. You cannot revoke a pardon, but if it was under unusual circumstances, what does that mean? Does that mean that the Supreme Court has to step in and really look at all of those pardons that Donald Trump was issuing? We don't exactly know, but we'll keep you posted on that story. Nice chain.
Hey, Dr. Cooper, come up whenever you can. I keep trying to do it. Oh, there you go. And then I would love to give you some applause, but I don't have any. But yeah, so yeah, Lil Wayne and Kodak Black allegedly paid for their pardons from the Trumpster, which is not shocking because Trump's all about the money. He doesn't do nothing for nobody unless there's money involved. I don't know if you heard that, Dr. Cooper, but did you hear what I said as far as Trump Lil Wayne and Kodak Black had paid Trump $2 million allegedly to be pardoned?
No, I didn't hear that.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know that happened.
Yeah, remember how
they paid him to pardon?
That's what they're saying. That's what they're saying. They're saying that they gave him they gave him $2 million. He was like selling them. So his assistant is like saying that she's suing Trump for $10 million, and she's just saying that they had like, they were paying for letting people pay for pardons, which makes sense. Everybody was kind of wondering why did he know of a Kodak Black? Like, what does Trump know about Kodak Black? Let's be clear, or Lil Wayne for that matter. But yeah.
But then too, the only thing that I will say about all of this is that the people who are in control right now, they want to remain in control. Like, they're literally doing anything and everything to make sure that they can continue to live these lifestyles that they're living, which also includes trafficking and everything else that they're doing. Like, they really want to continue. Like, I don't know, did you see, what's her name, Feinstein? Did you see her?
Mm-hmm.
Like, she looks like she can barely hang on. She, like, looking like she just, I'm like, what is wrong with her?
Right.
Like, she wants to stay in control that bad. Like, she's really incoherent, where out here outside of the government world, it's like anybody else, it would be like, okay, it's time for you to go to a nursing home or something, or it's time for you to retire. Like, they want to stay in power so bad. Like, it is so strange to me. Like,
well, that's how you can tell.
Like, they're coming out the woodwork. I'm not saying that Trump is like the best person ever. I mean, but it's like some of the stuff that's just coming out. It's like, bruh, almost everybody in the government got secrets. They probably always cheating on their spouse. They probably always saying all kind of nasty and disgusting things about women and stuff like that. I know some of these rappers, they cannot talk because some of their lyrics are the nastiest and the worst. Like, that's what they do. Like, men be saying stuff, they do stuff. And it's like, we know that R. Kelly is not the only one who's been with little children. You got Jay-Z, you got Boyz II Men, Wanye, you got the dude from Jagged Edge. I mean, you could just go down the list. Why aren't they getting the R. Kelly treatment? Why they're not getting the Bill Cosby treatment?
Exactly.
Some people literally be selling their souls. They sell their soul for this stuff, like, for real. They really be out here giving up their life and their blood sacrifices to be in this world. Now, I know actually someone who is a musician. He's a rather famous musician who works. I'm not gonna put his name on blast because I don't want people looking up his information and stuff like that. But he told me that Illuminati stuff is real.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
He told me that.
Oh yeah.
All of that stuff is real. All of that stuff, like sacrificing it. Back in the day, they used to take pictures and stuff and to blackmail people and stuff. But now it's so socially acceptable now, because that's the way the devil has it, or the adversary has it. So now it's like, oh, you know, two people doing X, Y, and Z. Okay, well, they're Saucy Santana or whatever. You know, okay, that's nothing new. Now the next thing would be, what have you done with little kids? Or, you know, why they haven't given out that flight log. And I don't think Trump is on that flight log, because if he was, they would have been put that.
Oh yeah, if he was.
Get him by the toes.
Yeah.
They want to get him by the toes. You know what I'm saying?
No, I agree.
But it's a lot of those other people that's on the list that are on there. Like, this lady comes out the woodwork saying all this stuff. Trump did this and Trump did that. How come she didn't come out the first time he ran?
Oh yeah.
Coming out the second time he's running. Like, it's not making sense. And then she made some comments about, oh, that's my favorite TV show. If somebody did something to me, I don't want to see their face. I don't want to see their face. I don't want to have nothing to do with them. That was your favorite show, but this is the guy who took advantage of you. And then it's just she's laughing and cackling and stuff. Something. Okay, the math is not math.
Yeah, you're talking about the lady that he allegedly assaulted or whatever.
Allegedly. Right.
Yeah.
She
was a terrible.
They're pulling things out the woodwork.
Yeah.
They're pulling everything out the woodwork because they don't want him to run. They want Biden to stay in office because we know Biden is not coherent enough to even run. I think Obama's on his 14th term. Like he's running stuff. Because I've seen videos where he's gone out and done stuff with Biden. Everybody's celebrating, talking to him, and leaving Biden on the side, looking lost like he's still trying to find his puppy. So I'm like, who's running things?
Exactly.
And Pelosi, I'll have to try to see if I can send you the video, but Pelosi actually made a comment and said that Obama was running things, and then corrected herself and said, no, Biden.
I remember her saying that. Yeah, I remember her saying that. Yeah, I remember her saying that. I do. Yeah. So here's this lady that's talking about Trump. Let's play what she says here. But you're right. That witness was terrible.
We've got some more breaking news just into us in the world of politics here. A new lawsuit out of New York accusing former President Trump's former personal attorney, Rudy Giuliani, of offering to sell pardons by his former boss. It's a lawsuit filed by a former employee of Giuliani's accusing him of sexual assault, harassment, wage theft. According to the lawsuit, Giuliani allegedly asked the former employee if she knew anybody who needed a pardon, saying he'd sell them for $2 million that would be split between him and Mr. Trump. The lawsuit also says Giuliani allegedly told her not to go through the, and I'm quoting here, normal channels for a pardon, because then that'd be subject to disclosures under the Freedom of Information Act. We are out to the Giuliani team, to the Trump campaign for any statement or reaction. Have not heard back yet. Vaughn Hilliard is reporting this out for us and is joining us now. Walk us through the allegations, and I think importantly, Vaughn, is there any evidence that has been presented against Giuliani in this lawsuit here?
In terms of evidence, Hallie, that is the key question, because this woman, who is an associate, says that she was hired in 2019 by Rudy Giuliani, says that with his consent, she made recordings of numerous conversations that they had, whether that specific conversation about the allegation of $2 million pardon for sale and splitting it with Donald Trump, whether that was recorded, is not made clear here in this lawsuit. But the question is, what is she presenting here? Because the allegations here are damning and frankly difficult to read. Of course, that one has potential 2024 political implications involving the former president of the United States. But she, I think, more importantly, makes allegations of sexual assault, sexual harassment against Rudy Giuliani over the course of years. And this, for Giuliani, we have reached out to an attorney of his. We have not heard back from comment at this.
So, I mean, we don't need to play more. I mean, I agree with you. Why is this now? If this stuff happened in 2019, why is it now coming out? I think, like you said, they are grasping at straws of what they can find. Giuliani, one thing about Trump, he does not pick good legal counsel. We know that. His legal counsel is terrible. What?
We driving and he's mad because the person is walking next to the car. He's like, back up. Like, close to the car.
But yeah, no.
He's trying to get some food.
So,
But I mean, at the end of the day, because Rudy Giuliani had, I read and I researched, I've been following him since all of this stuff or whatever. He's had a great run-in, especially with New York. The way that it looks now, they need him back anyway or something, because New York looks a mess right now.
mm-hmm.
It looks a hot mess. You know, I just really feel like they're doing this damning campaign right now because they know if the opposition gets into power, it's Trump or anybody else, he's coming for them.
Right.
Like, big time. And they will all be exposed. But the stuff that's in the dark, you know, it said it's supposed to come to light, period. It's supposed to. Otherwise, the word will not be true. So it's got to come to light. We just pray and ask the Lord to, you know, expose all of this stuff and protect the children, because this is too much.
Oh, I have to tell you.
It just, the math is not mathing.
Yeah, I have to tell you about this story too that I heard in Shantae's live today. You're gonna be like, but Yeah, so here's another story. Someone going through this NBC thing. So did you hear about this man who unalived his girlfriend because he didn't want her to get an abortion, so he took her out in a parking lot in Dallas?
Yeah, I heard about that. Yeah, I heard about that.
Let me play that one here. Let's see here.
Melanie Rubio hides a face full of grief.
My sister was very beautiful. She was so sweet.
Hoping to find justice for the murder of 26-year-old Gabriela Gonzalez.
I just feel anger towards them.
Dallas police arrested Gonzalez's ex-boyfriend, 22-year-old Harold Thompson, accused in her killing. It happened Wednesday morning at a gas station on Walton Walker Boulevard in Oak Cliff. Her family says the two had been arguing after Gonzalez ended a tumultuous 4-month relationship.
And that he was so angry that she wanted to get away from him.
A search of Thompson's criminal history shows an active arrest warrant for assault and family violence. Gonzalez's mother showed us the Dallas police report officially filed by the family in March. Court records also report Thompson abusing Gonzalez while she was pregnant.
And she always told me that she wanted to leave, but that she couldn't.
Her family says it all culminated into a final argument. Gonzalez had just returned this week from a trip to Colorado to get an abortion. An arrest report states Thompson was believed to be the father of the child. Police records say surveillance video shows him putting Gonzalez in a chokehold Wednesday before later shooting her in the head. He then fled and Gonzalez died on the scene. Tragically, her sister witnessed the murder.
I was in shock. I couldn't touch her. I couldn't move my body.
See, when you go through those type of relationships, you have to. A lot of people don't be thinking, but you have to have an exit plan because there's no way. He was already showing signs of violence. There's no way she should have gone back.
And
home.
she was only
No
22 years old. 22 years old going through this.
I
And
can't imagine. That's my daughter.
I know. You got daughters. I got boys, and I already, I tell my boys the same things. Like, if you have an issue, let me know. Like, if I got to show up, because I would never want my sons to address another woman. A woman. You know what I'm saying? But this is just so sad, and just the fact that she stayed. I'm not for abortion or anything like that. I think that this young girl probably just didn't want to bring a life into the world with somebody like that.
Right.
And it's just so unfortunate, the whole story all around. Her sister witnessed it. I think she had I thought they said she had a restraining order. In this country, our restraining orders are trash. They're terrible. And I don't know. They said that he had beat her up multiple times throughout their entire relationship, even while she was pregnant.
Oh, that's so horrible.
I can't. It's just.
That's so horrible.
Yeah, it's so sad, and I just when you're that young, and when you're that young and you fall into them kind of relationships, you have to wonder, is this something they saw as a child that made them think that this kind of relationship was okay? You know what I'm saying? I always wonder about that, as far as that makeup of somebody so young finding themselves in an abusive relationship like that. It's just
statistics do say that, people who grow up in different, in toxicity, they continue it because it's something that it becomes the normalcy for them to continue to be in that type of lifestyle. So whether she witnessed it firsthand, it could be by observation, you know what I mean? Or it could be from her mom, it could have been from something she witnessed from the father. It could be her feeling inadequate as a person and then was like, you know what, in order for me to feel loved, I need to be with this
kind of person. Yeah, it's listen, it's no rhyme or reason. I know that, my mom was unfortunately in an abusive relationship most of my childhood, and I wasn't in one, but I was, just to understand, like, I think especially when you're young like that, you don't understand, because, when we grew up, we were taught that love was pain. Like, you got to go through something to have something and all that. Remember that song, No Pain, No Gain? Now that I listen to that song, I'm like, that song is so problematic. But she was just saying how in order to get something, you got to go through something. And that's literally not how love works. And I'm like, what were we learning? What are we teaching our young people? Like, for real, like, that is not love. You should not have to suffer for love. And it's sad because a lot of young people think that, like, that whole ride or die thing, the most terrible thing that ever that people came up with. There's no such thing as ride or die love. I'm sorry. It's just not. The only person you ride or die for is the Lord. That's it. Yeah. Like, there's not no man walking the earth that you should be doing that for. Right. So Martha Stewart, 81, is the oldest cover model of Sports Illustrated.
Oh my goodness. What is going on? She has found her entire life right now.
Right. She's sparking.
Entire life.
She's sparking up. Yeah, she's.
Like, who convinced her? You know what it is? I blame Snoop Dogg.
Listen, I'd rather her do it than Kate.
Gave her an honorary black card. So now she out here just thinking she just, oh my goodness.
I'd rather her do it than Caitlyn Jenner, though. Like, at least she.
Honestly, you're right.
Like, get your life, Martha. If you still got it, girl. 81.
81 years old with her sports model. You know what? You're right. In the age of where women are not being respected in spaces, I would rather have an elderly woman than to have a man in that position.
Exactly. I'd rather see a lady in a wheelchair. Right. So this little girl's brother was a hero. This Michigan girl, she was able to escape an attempted kidnapping when her brother used a slingshot to strike the would-be attacker. So that is good job, little brother. She was 17 and her brother was 13, and he hit him in the head and the chest with a slingshot. So he was able to get his sister. His sister was able to escape him trying to, like, snatch her. So, hey, who says slingshots are going out of style?
Right. I'm glad that worked, because this is definitely
human trafficking central. Right. Yeah, for sure. A study shows that half of the parents with children over 18 say they've dipped into their emergency funds or disrupted debt repayments to help them out. Yes. I haven't dipped into my emergency funds, but we are helping our children more than our parents helped us, which I think in our community is a plus. I think, like, they have been doing it with their kids forever, but I think for the first time we're kind of really supporting our kids, because, we used to be like, when you're 18 you on the street, and I know for me, I let my son stay with me until he's 26. I didn't put him out in the cold.
Right.
So,
at this time in our children's lives, I believe that needs to change.
Mm-hmm.
When you're 18, you need to move out and on your own, because, Black people have this mindset of this struggle mindset, that you have to struggle in order to make it. And someone brought light to my eyes, because I was just like, my oldest is married. She doesn't know what it's like to struggle, and her husband need to go through the struggle. But then they were like, it's a blessing to have his mom, because culturally she's overbearing, but that's just part of her culture. But she makes sure they have food, she makes sure that bills are paid, like all this stuff. And my mind was, no, when I was 17.
Yeah, you had to get out there and get it, yeah.
But then it's like, why should she have to do that when that can mess up her credit?
Right.
And her husband's credit, and then put them in a position where now they're homeless and stuff like that. Like, why would I want that? So I had to be corrected, you know, with that mindset. It's like, I can't be, that's a growth mindset.
Right.
You know, to have them being like, you know what, you don't have to live like this. You can live in abundance. And part of that is making sure that your finances are together, or making sure that your credit is together, making sure that you guys are not stressed, because we know that the divorce rate is as high as it is, and one of the issues is because of
money,
the lack of monetary resources. So why would I want that for a young couple? I should be wanting them to be able to flourish and to grow. So I was corrected on that. I had to be like, you know what? No, they're right. I was wrong in that instance. So
no, you're right. Like, I mean, you are so right, because you know, I've done that for my son. I've like, because I think in the long run, our kids, let's be clear, they're not built like we was. I mean, it sound good, but like, honestly, they just not. And so, no, I mean, honestly, like, I mean, I'm the same way. And in my son now, he's afloat. and he had like some, like, my son had a big savings, but he ended up like blowing that. Like, when COVID hit, his job was like letting him take off all the time. And so I was like, you ready to move out, brother? Because if you think that you can just take off work. So that was the whole reason why I had him go ahead and move out. But he was like 26. And he, you know, I helped him pay like his first month's rent, bought like furnished his apartment and everything like that. And now he's doing well. I still pay his phone bill and his insurance, you know. I mean, he's not completely on his own, but he loves his privacy. He loves, like, you know, doing it on his own, as he thinks he's doing it on his own. So he's more independent due to that. But no, I don't believe our kids should struggle. And I think if we got it, we'd rather give it to them than, for me anyway, than them stressing or feeling like they're alone in the world. Because like I said, our kids just ain't built like we are, unfortunately. They're not. What's up, Chef?
Chef, hey. This is my almost birthday twin. He's born the day before.
Yeah, Chef was in here with me last night, listening to me talk to myself, that was so cute, y'all. I loved it. I've never did this. I don't even know how to do this clapping and stuff. I've never done none of this. I have to still learn this crap. So you just get a. Let's see what else we got here. Let's move on. The news, it's not... I'm going to talk about this Shanquella thing again because I have a story about Natalee Holloway, because I really want to understand, you know, why Shanquella is not getting the same treatment. But
yeah, I don't understand that either.
Because like Natalee Holloway, you know, her thing happened abroad too. And they're extraditing that dude. And it took him to like commit another unalivement for him to be, and then he did his, like, he got 28 years for that one. And so now he's getting extradited to the U.S. But I'm like, how come, you know, Shanquella's not, you know, getting that same treatment? Because, I mean, Mexico literally is across, like, the way. Like, Aruba, you actually have to fly there. Let's see. So this Jamie Foxx debauchery. I don't know what's up with Jamie Foxx. His daughter said he was playing pickleball the other day, and now today they're saying he's in rehab in Chicago. I don't, and this is when I'm gonna have to invoke the Illuminati on this because yes.
Even because if you look at it, because I'm looking at Dear Brother Kanye, I don't even think this person that's out right
is
now
the real
Kanye.
guy. Yeah,
Doesn't look like him. Facial structure, the height doesn't look like him, like, at all. They use a lot of masks and stuff like that, like the weight. Like, I've seen people who gained weight with medical gain weight. They face.
Right.
I mean, you don't look different. Like, this person looked totally different. And I'm thinking about the last thing that Kanye shared was, I know I jumped over to Kanye. I know we're talking about
No, you're good.
I'm trying to link it, but Kanye was saying, he shared with the guy who said, I'm going to get you linked up with so-and-so.
Oh, yeah, that crazy personal trainer.
The personal trainer guy. So I know that all these people are in cahoots with each other. Like, all of these billionaires are all in cahoots with each other, and it's something that he stood for, that he was out loud. And I have friends who are actually were part of his gospel group, and they said that man was really on his face worshiping God. And
He should have. He was scared.
It was not some show he was putting on. Like, he would be just like, while they were singing and stuff like that, he would be on his face before the Lord.
Yeah.
So, of course, the enemy wants to take in as many that he can take in as possible. So I wouldn't be surprised if he's somewhere and they're trying to, put things in his body or whatever.
Oh, yeah.
All kinds of things to make him be like, try to change. I hope that he's,
Yeah, and like I was telling Chef, even that hairline that Jamie Foxx got, is it hiding the scar from the brain star? Like, I don't trust, like, Hollywood is so weird.
Now, Jamie Foxx is a handsome man.
He is, but when he got that hairline, I started questioning some stuff. And then, so I did so loud, because like I said, I've had this podcast for a minute, so I've talked about him before. When he had a whole thing with Cameron Diaz, because she supposedly came out of retirement and did a movie with him, and he was acting erratic on the movie. Like, they said he was acting erratic, yada, yada, yada. And then this happened, so it's kind of like, was this like in Hollywood, weird is really, like, I just don't trust none of them. And I know you love Jamie Foxx, but he's probably gonna be a clone when he comes out of the hospital.
Ain't no telling what he's gonna be. Like, it's just sad. Like,
yeah.
If you think about that whole institution, like, is it really worth it? Like, now people are talking about, I heard some guy, I forgot what his name is, but he was saying he was coming out of the music industry. He wants to do independent so he can own his masters and things like that, whatever. I think some people are waking up to certain things, but they're not they can only go so far, because the enemy can give you riches and give you these things because the man has provided permission for him to do so. You know what I mean?
Right.
But other than that, I'm just like, why would you want to, like, include yourself in that? Like, is it serious?
I think it is. I think, like, I mean, you live out there in that land of them. I feel like when you get immersed in weirdness, like, I feel like, you know how when some people get promoted, they stay down to earth, and then some people, they just get like this huge ego and this, and I'm not saying that's Jamie Foxx's. I like Jamie Foxx, but I think, like, when you're around a lot of fake people, it starts to wear off on you. And I think, so I saw Don D.C. Curry, and he's an OG, right? He's like 65, and he was here in my town talking about the Illuminati. And I'm like, he's the OG, and I know he ain't gonna lie. And he was saying, like, the only reason they don't mess with him because he believes in God, and they all have their spiritual thing. And he was like, the only reason they don't mess with me because I believe in Jesus. He said, all of them out there, they claim they're spiritual and stuff. And this is from Don D.C. Curry, an OG. And he talked about the rituals of them wanting to make men wear dresses and all that. And he said he wasn't doing that. He's like, I'm not gonna put on a dress and embarrass the black woman like that. So, I mean, the Illuminati is definitely real. Yeah, they wouldn't mess with Debo either. You're right. Like, Hollywood does not like a heterosexual man, period. So.
They did, what's his name? Terry Crews?
Yeah, Terry Crews. Yeah, even though he teeters for me, he teeters with them dancing by what is pectorials. I'm not a fan of the dancing pectorials. So I'm wondering what y'all think about this Jonathan Majors, Megan Good dating scenario, because why is Jonathan Major trying to come back? Yeah, Terry Crews is definitely, to me too, Chef. Why is Jonathan Major coming back to Mother Africa now that Becky has turned on him?
I think he should. And
You
I
think
feel
he?
like,
So you want Megan Good to get them back together? Is what you saying?
I feel like he needs a black woman to pour into him.
Mm-hmm.
But sometimes they need that, a black woman to really pour into them. Maybe he never had that. I think he made a comment, and somebody else who made a similar comment was the guy who played Ghost, Amari Harding, or whatever. But it's kind of like the women that you were around when you're at a certain status, they don't want to be with you. And I know that there's a lot of gender wars right now with black women. I even say different things or whatever, but they don't want the man who has the lower or who's at his potential stage, whereas opposed to somebody who is not black, they'll take him just because, you know. It doesn't matter if he's at his potential phase, and a lot of them are fetishized anyway. Like, they just want the color. They just want that.
And listen, I agree, but why is it Chef but I know Chef loves the black woman, but why is it that we always got to clean up the mess is all I'm saying. Yes, of course we gonna support our brother Jonathan Majors, but why do we always got to clean up the mess? Like, why did he have to like keep going through, like, why is it always us got to put the image back together? I mean, if he is with Megan Good is absolutely beautiful, and he better not break her heart. He better not break her heart. Then if he,
I feel like he's being blackballed right now.
Yeah, big time.
And it may have a lot to do with him not wanting to wear a dress. I think, or be in some of those roles, because this was a major role.
Yeah. He almost was with them flowers. Remember when Doc had that Valentine's shoot? They almost got him. But he must have rebelled in some kind of way.
I think that they literally blackballed him. Lady was caught lying, you know, and I feel like something happened, and they're trying to give him this certain type of treatment. You know what I'm saying? They're giving him the Cosby treatment.
Yeah, no, I agree. You know, if you don't do what they say, it's gonna be curtains. I mean, listen, I like Megan Good, and I hope that if they are together or she's just supporting him or whatever it may be, that he just treats her right and he don't be running right back to Becky once he come up again. Maybe. I don't know if he can come up again after this.
It all depends on how their relationship goes, because we don't know the conversations that they've had. They could have they had to have had some interesting conversations for them to get into a situation where now they're being, you know, out in the open saying we're dating. So that other people can see what they're doing. But what better way for a black man to get healing than with a black
Oh, I know we have the healing power. I agree. I just, you know, we always got to do it. So, in New York...
Black men need to understand that it's not like... Just because, like, right now, like, because I'm, like, dating and yada, 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 whatever. Just because I haven't been found by a black man doesn't mean that I get advances from men of other cultures.
Of course.
I'm not gonna take that.
Yeah.
But, so he could, just because those other women may advance him, it doesn't mean he has to take it.
Right.
And that's what black men have to understand. You don't have to take that just because that's what's offered. You don't have to be like, oh, that's the only thing left. That's all I can get. Well, have you put yourself in a position to find a woman?
Right.
You know?
I think like Jonathan Majors, he probably, if you look at him back in the day before the body, he was a little facially challenged, and I think now he's fine. He's fine now, so I think the sisters is like noticing him, like, okay, Jonathan, you know, you should get.
I think a lot of them only notice him because his bag.
Yeah, the bag helped, but if you look at him back in the day, he was on a struggle bus facially for sure.
But he's still on the bus. Still on the bus.
So
it would take some extra love for me to be like, you know what, he gonna be my boo. I can't. I'll be like, okay. I do like men who have a little dash of
medium ugly, a sprinkle of ugly.
Just a little sprinkle.
Mm-hmm.
But not just like the whole, Do you know what that's like getting hurt and have your heart broken by a man who just got a little, girl, because then you be looking at yourself like, for real?
I tell my mama that all the time, because like my stepdad, he was like, back in the day he was decent looking, but like as he got older, he was completely out of shape. And I'm like, Mama, do you understand that like you wasted 30 years of your life with that? You know what I'm saying? Like, it makes her laugh. I do it to make her laugh, but it's like, girl, you was crying over that dude.
Right.
So in New York, they have a zombie drug that's on the loose. It's some kind of animal tranquilizer known as Trank, and it's like mixed with drugs like that is mixed with some bad stuff. So that there's a zombie drug on the loose. But speaking of getting the bag, it's his sister. She's from Ghana. And she is getting extradited to the United States for hustling. She's an influencer. She's a Ghanaian influencer, and she has been extradited to the U.S. for her alleged involvement in a romance scheme, swindling $2 million in victims. They were like older, single American men and women in a twisted, lonely heart scam. They're prosecuting her. She's only 30, but yeah, she pretty much was scamming some dudes. She has like 3 million Instagram followers, and there's a group of con artists over there in Africa. You hate to say that, but unfortunately it's true, where they had like fake identities. They were tricking people, making them think they were in relationships with them, using email, text, and social media. And then they would get the victims to transfer money to them under false pretenses, such as to help them move gold to the U.S. from the overseas, to resolve bogus FBI investigations, and payments to help fake U.S. armies in Afghanistan. Like just a bunch of scams. But my good sis, they bringing her butt, they hauling her butt to the United States to serve her time for her crime. I mean, you know.
Are these next level scams? Because I think the scariest scams that is out here right now is that AI.
Oh yeah, because it can take your voice, your face.
Yes.
I mean, even if you think about it, like, you know, we're kind of getting away from passwords, and we're doing like our face, our fingerprints. But if you think about it, is that a good idea? Because if somebody knock you out, they got your face and your fingerprint. So it's like, I don't know. I think passwords.
Open up your stuff and take all
yeah.
your stuff.
I keep telling my mom all the time, I'm like, if you have like Cash App, PayPal, Venmo, put that in a secure folder, because anybody could just get in your phone and just be transferring stuff. So, I mean, just because you had it in your...
Actually, I kind of heard that actually happened.
Oh, yeah. It happens a lot.
She went out with this guy.
Mm-hmm.
And I think she went on a date or something, she said, with him. And then I guess I don't know why she would do that anyway, but she ended up back in his hotel. She just met the guy. She shouldn't have been there anyway.
Mm-hmm.
But nevertheless, she did that. When she woke up, she had money was transferred out of her bank account like thousands of dollars and stuff was transferred to some account or something like that. I was like, why? Why would you go to that dude's hotel room, first of all, and you don't even know him? Like, are you that desperate for a man? You don't know this guy.
Well, I've even seen it where somebody just took the phone. This girl, she said the dude act like he was putting his number in her phone, and he literally transferred money to himself. He just opened up her Cash App and just put his name in there and transferred money to himself, like $200. So you got to be careful. Like, you know, I remember my friend, she went to a club, and this dude act like he was wanting to talk to her, and she had her purse in the front seat. He literally reached in and snatched her purse. So wow. You got to be careful. I know that's messed up, Chef. That is so messed up, because you thinking a dude trying to holler at you like, hey, and then he just take your purse. Man, that's cold. I would never go out again if that happened to me.
And people wonder why I be having my dog with me every day.
Yeah, that your dog is.
Well, my dog in there.
No, your dog is not letting nobody in there at all.
My dog would be like, for real? You doing what? You ain't reaching in this car.
So another thing I like to do, I like to go to Reddit and see what people are talking about. So let's see what these people are talking about. One question is, what do you miss about being young?
What do I miss about being young? Because I actually like my age, because I look young, even though I'm not. But if I had the wisdom that I have now, or the experiences that I have now, have gone through when I was young, then having, I guess that would be the only part that I would miss, was not being able to have certain amount of wisdom and knowledge and able to get where I am.
Yeah.
Because you need wisdom and knowledge. You have to have it. There's no way around that.
Yeah, my son, he was over for Mother's Day, and he's like, man, Mom, he missed being a kid so bad. I was like, yeah, remember when all you had to worry about was your homework? And now it's like he got bills, and, you know, a lot of people are saying no aches and pains. Yes, I would love to get up and not feel like the Tin Man, because I be like the Wizard of Oz, like squeaking when I get up. Like, my body really has to, like, it's gotta walk a little bit before these knees get unoiled. I gotta like sleep. I got a hip pillow. Like, don't let this young face fool you. Like the doctor said today, he was like, thanks for the follow-up, Harry. The doctor said today, he was like, you don't look 45. I'm like, he literally looked up my birthing. Like, yes, dude, I'm 45. I'm about to be 46. Like, my knees feel 46, okay? Like, I might not look it, but
the only way to combat that is you have to keep moving.
Oh yeah, and I take my
what do you call what's good for that is taking fish oil.
Yeah, my omega-3s. I be on my omega-3s. No, I do it all, and I'm big on sitting in the sauna and stretching and stuff. And yeah, like you said, staying active is key. Let's see what these men. So I like to see what the men on Reddit, because sometimes they're a little saner.
Which I'm being talking about.
no diss to Chef. Chef is one of the sane men on this app. So honestly, Chef is like, he is like a mellow man. Like I love Chef. Like, I have no qualms with him.
Reasonable, mellow.
It's very hard. It's like hard to find, but he is. He is. Let's see.
Drama free. Love it.
Let's see what these men I'm seeing.
You're welcome, Chef.
Okay, so what's something a partner said or did that made you immediately rethink your relationship? Chef. I'm gonna see what these other men are saying too. This guy said that While he's while he's typing that, this guy said his ex would hit him while he was driving. Also cheated on him, but it didn't count because it was with another woman. Yeah. So the question, Chef, is what's something a partner said or did that made you immediately rethink your relationship? Yeah, hitting men is not cool, y'all. I know, like, it's not cool. Keep your hands to yourself.
Right. Not cool at all.
This other dude said his girl disappeared for 12 hours with a friend on his birthday. Yikes. Yeah.
With a male friend?
Yeah. She called the popo on you, Chef. Oh my gosh. You can't call the popo on a black man, ladies. I mean, unless you in like, I don't even know. I try to get away.
Dire need.
Yeah, it's dangerous. It's dangerous. Like, don't do it. I wouldn't. It had to be really, like, I'm gonna probably get away first. Like, in this day and age, I don't know. But yeah, Chef, that is messed up. Especially if it was over something petty.
Right.
So, women, this is for us, Dr. Cooper. What is the most ridiculous thing you've ever cried over?
What in the world? I can't think. Let me see.
Mine would be movies. I cry I cry every time I watch E.T. Your ex? Yes. Why you cried over your ex, girl?
If I was to say going through that with my ex, the husband, crying how I was crying about that, feeling like my whole life was over, and the whole nine.
I've been there.
I think I listened, which was this is so crazy, but I spent 3 years praying, warning the spirit, speaking in tongues, fasting, the whole nine. And then one day, and I really feel like this is God. People gonna say, like, girl, no, but I was listening to Beyonce's Lemonade album, and it just clicked in my head, wait a minute, why are you crying over this dude?
Mm-hmm.
Like, look at him. Like, look what he's talking about. Look what he's doing. Like, but I was crying over, and when you start to analyze, like, I was really crying over the potential or this facade that I created in my own mind about who he was.
That's what most of it is.
Really, really, like, what he was doing to me. Like,
right.
Like, he was cheating. He was on back of camels in Dubai with other women.
Wow.
Like, he was doing all this stuff, and all I could think about, oh, my husband. Like, like, what in the world? Like, let me snap out of this. Like, what was I thinking? Like, I was just so in love with wanting to be married and just all of this stuff. Like, this is not some guy who you want to bring around other people. Like, oh, this is my man. And, like, people are literally sending me pictures. Like, girl, ain't this your husband?
Wow.
Like, what? And I'm over here just... And then I started listening to Beyonce's Lemonade album. And then it was just over from there. And then it started to give me more mental strength, which is weird because you would think me praying and fasting and doing all this stuff did, but I was actually sinking into an abyss of despair because I was like, I'm mourning, I'm praying, and God's not answering my prayer. I was going down that path. But once I just learned how to just pull myself up by the cojones, it was just like, okay, get yourself together, girl. I woke up like this,
Right. Now, I've been there. One thing that I use to help me get over breakups, I listen to, like, rock and roll Evanescence. I don't know if you've ever heard them. They have songs that everybody knows because they play them in the mall or whatever. But she has this song, and it is like it's like when you cry, I wash away all my tears. But I love this song because in the words she says that like you had the little girl in me. She says the little girl in me was in love with you. Like, I love when she says that because it's like, that's like so true. Most of us, like, and she was like, she's saying like, I wouldn't leave you because it was my childhood fears, like my abandonment issues. And that song hits like anytime like I go to a breakup, I would listen to that or rap music. But I can't listen to no slow music unless it's like a breakup slow music. I listen to like some breakup like Carl Thomas or something like that. Like it's over. Yeah, I wish I never. Yeah. Cue up the like. But yeah, I love that Evanescence song though because she says all that, and it's like she used him to chase away her childhood fears, but she's like she would be crying for him, but he wasn't even noticing her. She was like she thought he was gone, but she was like she was like, even though you're still with me, I'm still alone. Like, and it was like, that is so freaking true because like you be feeling like you in these relationships with these people and you are alone the whole time. Like,
the whole time.
And I was like, that's why
you have to make sure. Somebody told me, because I used to love my mentor was 65. I miss Auntie Norma. I would sit down and talk to her for hours and hours and hours. But she would always say, be with the man who don't love you more than you love him.
Right. You have to. You got to be with a man that love your dirty draws. For real. Literally your dirty draws.
Different than a man who's like self-absorbed or he feel like he's the prize and like all this stuff or whatever. Then you're not going to get too far with that man. But a man where he loves you more than you love him, like... It's totally different. But if you look scripturally, let me go back. Because I used to always look at this all the time. The men always went out and got their women. Mm-hmm. The women did not love them at all.
Right.
Because these were arranged marriages. Some of them didn't want to be married. They didn't want to be with these men. Any of that kind of stuff. So,
somebody's asking, how did you gauge that? For the men, are you asking as far as men loving you more or the nice stuff?
We gauge that. You know what? I really feel like because they will express and do things a little bit more than you would do, mm-hmm. because they would just shower you more, cater to you more. It's just certain things that they would do that's so giving of themselves